Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be speaking about the 2011 penny, going over the fact that a lot of these are going to be worth way more than 1 cent. Now, that might be because of a conditional rarity. It could be due to a variety where if you look closely, it's apparent that there's a characteristic that showed that there was something wrong that happened at the mint. Collectors pay up for that. And there's also some shield cent errors that are more of a major problem during the striking process. So I'll talk all about these 3 different things to look for in the PowerPoint presentation. 2011 is definitely a good date and can have some pretty good upside if you find the right coin. And here we've got the 2011 shield cent. The reverse design shows the 13 stripes shield for the initial 13 states supporting the federal sort of top of it. Lincoln is the first person to appear on a U.S. circulating coin after previous designs showed Liberty or generic people, but he was the first actual person. You can pause for the rest of the information, but these are zinc, should weigh 2.5 grams, and since there were about 2.4 billion of these produced, there's no shortage of mint state coins. Now, the following values are for PCGS graded ones, and it really doesn't make sense to certify these unless you know you're going to get a mint state 68 or are super confident in it because of the certification cost to start. The mint state 67, 67 plus, there's very little margin, and these are not high demand coins if it's just an uncirculated one. So you're going to really have to wait for that mint state 68 until it makes sense. And $250, it's going to be a flawless coin, very low probability. So you have to be sure. There are a fair amount of double dies, and that's what we're going to be talking about in the next part of the video. Most of these are class 9 doublings, and you can see the shifts in the lettering a little bit of notching in the lower left hand, but I think the easiest way to see it is in the 0, as it's quite tilted, sort of that northwest southeast spread, and the values range from like $2 to $10. They might go up in the future if there's more attention paid to these, but these aren't extremely dramatic. I don't think that they would really make the cherry picker's guide. This one is not super significant, maybe a slight similar sort of northwest southeast spread, but not nearly to the degree of the previous one, nor is this. You can see maybe the left part of the Y is thicker than the right part. That's an easy way to diagnose this one. A little bit of notching in the lower right hand corners on the RTY. A lot of these double die obverses Class 9 feature most of the doubling on the RTY in Liberty. This next one is more significant, definitely the biggest one on our list today from 2011. Large shifts in the northeast, southwest. I can see that shift also taking place in the O and the D. And the ones are elongated, all of the lettering's elongated, really nice double die, and this one can be certified at ANAX, also on the Wexler list, but Kaneka recognizes it. And this one's $40 in AU, 70 to 125 in mint state, and can range up. We'll see what happens. So I'd forgotten about this. This one might get a cherry picker listing in the longer term. Here's another one that I really like, very thick, but this one's more left to right in terms of the Liberty, significant extra thickness. Same thing in the date, especially as seen towards these 2 and the 0. And then this one, you see the small notching, a little extra thickness going northwest, southeast, and then same thing in the E, R, T, and Y, some slight, offsetting, a little bit of notching, not as dramatic. There's also another one here. You can see, again, thicker part of the Y than the left part than the right. A little bit of notching on the lower tips, but not as bad. And then on the reverse, there's this really nice, I don't see the notching that well in the United States of America. This one also, actually, I should say, could potentially get an official listing, but the B and the L, the designer's initials on the back, way extra thick compared to the regular one as seen in the top right. And then the same thing going on the back here, where there's some separation even a little bit in the bottom part of the B, stretched southeast, northwest. So those are the double dies. There's not too many mint errors. The mint has a good process for these. So this split die, where the die wears down, part of it chips, but then the whole thing, there's a crack running all the way through the die. That's when it's called split. $222. The reverse struck through. There was some grease that pooled up and came between the planchet and the coin in the dies. So, prevents a lot of it from impressing onto the coin. And then this double struck one, that's a really significant error. Massive double strike and super good eye appeal on this one. So you can see the multiple impressions here. I almost wonder, maybe it was like, I'm trying to think how this one would have occurred. Maybe there's another blank planchet or something here where there's not an obverse impression and instead just sort of the reverse, but really nice coin. Back to the focus though, a lot of double dice here to look for, especially this one, and good luck finding them because they can be really rewarding to pluck out of circulation. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like the video, comment, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and some other social media platforms. You can also go to my main channel website, treasuretownYT.com, to learn more about the channel and sort of stay in contact. I also will eventually host all of these videos on coinsmetalscards.com, which will be both news, marketplace, and coin information. I do have the goal of eventually getting pretty much every US coin, date, mint mark, denomination on the channel with a similar video to the one that you just watched, and that will likely all be hosted there. And then I also have treasuretowncoins.com, which is sort of my coin dealing wing, coin dealing only entity that is a little bit less focused on content production. So thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. I also have videos that are not just the date, mint mark, denomination recap in this format, so you can check some of those out, and I'll have fun seeing you there.